totally get where you're coming from. I mean, most people think that God is anti-sex. He doesn't like sex. He doesn't want us to have sex or to have pleasure. But do you think that's true?
No, so here's the question we're going to ask, right? We have to ask, is God actually against sex? So often we make this thing a choice. We either say we have God and no sex, or sex and no God. But we make this a choice, but it's not a choice at all. And if you think this way, you've got a surprise coming.
Yeah, because I think the Bible actually has good news about sex, because God actually invented it. And so he thinks it's good. And so we don't actually need to choose between God and sex.
Yeah, you see, because God, he loves us and he made us to have and to enjoy sex.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, God has made us physically different, men and women.
Physically different, have a look at us. Physically different. Beautiful. Not so beautiful. But here's the thing, right? God has actually, seriously, he's created us different physically, you know that. And more than that, like, he's actually created our physical parts to be different. But these physical parts that he's created different go perfectly together.
But not only that, they come together in a way that's actually pleasurable for us, and God made it that way so that we'd actually enjoy having sex together.
I'm not sure if you heard what you said. Here's the recap, listen to this. He's made us different, but those differences work perfectly together, and here's the deal, and you have stacks of fun at the same time. That is what I call a good deal.
Yeah, and the amazing thing also is that God's actually made our brains to want to be turned on by a certain person and actually want to be with them in that way, to love them and cherish them and totally be one with them. And like, God actually made our brains so that the more we're together, the more sex we have, the longer we're together, the more we actually bond as a couple. So sex is actually a really integral part of our relationship.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, right? God has actually designed sex, so we've got to trust that God knows where sex is for and what's appropriate. And he's planned sex to be enjoyed in marriage. And when we go against his plan, the results are both physically and emotionally damaging. They're far from perfect. And so, if you'd like to know more about sex and what God has to say about it, the designer of sex, if you want to know what God has to say about sex, then here's what you have to do. Check out Teen Sex by the Book. Make sure you do it.